Bianca Censori is a name that only a few years ago meant very little to the public, yet today she is searched, debated, photographed, and analyzed almost daily. Her rise to global attention hasn't been through a music career, a blockbuster movie, or even a reality TV slot, but rather through her connection to one of the most polarizing and creative figures of our time, Kanye West, who now goes by Ye. And while her fame may have come suddenly, Bianca's story is rich with background, education, and choices that make her far more than just the wife of Ye. She was born on January 5, 1995, in Melbourne, Australia, making her 30 years old today. Growing up far from the world of paparazzi and American celebrity culture, Bianca followed an academic and artistic path that showed her focus early on. She attended the University of Melbourne, where she earned both her bachelor's and her master's degree in architecture. Even as a student, she was entrepreneurial, launching a jewelry brand called Nylons as a way to combine creativity and commerce. That mix of design sensibility and business instinct would define her career later. After finishing her studies, Bianca worked in a handful of design roles before joining Yeezy in November 2020. For anyone who knows Ye's brand, Yeezy is not simply a clothing line. It's a creative ecosystem where music, architecture, performance, and fashion blur into one world. By becoming an architectural designer at Yeezy, Bianca placed herself in Ye's orbit, and it was only a matter of time before the professional connection sparked a personal one. In December 2022, Ye released a track titled Censori Overload. First, the name seemed playful, maybe even cryptic, but in hindsight, it was the first public hint of their connection. Then, in early January 2023, the pair were spotted together in Beverly Hills at the Waldorf Astoria. Within days, reports surfaced that they had held a private wedding ceremony. There was no official marriage certificate available in public records at the time, but Ye himself referred to her as his wife. For fans and observers, that was enough. From that moment forward, Bianca was no longer just an architect. She was Ye's partner in both life and creativity. For someone who has been in the spotlight for only a short time, Bianca has already mastered the art of making headlines. Her appearances at Paris and Milan Fashion Weeks, or on the red carpet at the 2025 Grammys, became instant viral moments. The Grammys, she wore a nearly invisible nude-toned outfit that lit up the internet with commentary. Was it bold art, provocative stunt, or simply personal style? Whatever your view, it worked. Her name shot to the top of search engines, and suddenly she was the talk of the night. Rumors swirled that she and Ye had been kicked out of the event, but those stories were quickly corrected. They had not been ejected, they simply left shortly after arriving. Till the visual impact of that appearance stuck with people. Now, if we pull away from the headlines and look at her actual life, Bianca is more than just a figure in daring outfits. She's an educated, working architect with years of training. Yeezy, she is known to contribute to architectural design projects, including retail and spatial concepts that form part of Ye's brand experience. Her work isn't as easy to photograph as a runway gown, but it shapes how people encounter Yeezy as a lifestyle and brand. That's worth remembering. While some may dismiss her as just a fashion muse, her skill set is far deeper and more practical than it first appears. Financially, Bianca doesn't operate anywhere near Ye's former billionaire status, but she is successful in her own right. Media estimates place her net worth around $1 to $2 million. These are only estimates, not official filings, but they give a sense that she is financially independent and not simply reliant on her famous husband. For someone her age and with her background, that is impressive. One of the questions fans often ask is whether Bianca and Ye have children together. The answer, at least for now, is no. They haven't welcomed any children of their own. But Ye has 4 children, North, Saint, Chicago, and Psalm, with his ex-wife Kim Kardashian. Bianca has stepped into the role of stepmother, something Ye has publicly acknowledged by calling her the stepmom of his kids. She has also been photographed spending time with them, suggesting she is present not only as Ye's partner but as part of the family unit. It's a delicate role, stepping into a family already under constant scrutiny, and yet she has managed to keep a relatively low profile in that respect, letting her actions speak rather than her words. This raises another fascinating aspect of Bianca. She is everywhere in images, yet almost nowhere in voice. She rarely gives interviews, she doesn't flood social media with posts, and she doesn't explain or defend herself in the press. Her presence is silent, curated almost entirely through appearances. That silence makes her an enigma. Fans argue over her role. Some claim she is Ye's stabilizer, his muse who inspires creative risks. Others speculate she is part of his public performance, a participant in his endless cycle of provocation. Whatever the truth is, her mystery keeps people watching. Her rise also speaks to how fame works today. A decade ago, it might have taken a reality show or a hit single to become globally recognizable. Today, a daring outfit, a viral photo, and a connection to one of music's most controversial figures can rocket someone into the top of Google searches overnight. And Bianca has leaned into that moment, consciously or not, by stepping out in designs that fuel debate. Some see it as empowerment, others as spectacle. What do you think? Is Bianca shaping her own path, or is she being shaped by the machine of celebrity? It's also worth remembering how quickly all this happened. Only a few years ago, Bianca was a Melbourne-based designer working behind the scenes. By 2020, she was quietly working at Yeezy. By early 2023, she was married to Ye. By 2025, she was one of the most searched names on the planet, her face and style dissected by fashion critics, pop culture blogs, and millions of fans online. That arc is nothing short of extraordinary. The future for Bianca is wide open. She could continue to live in the semi-silent role of muse and designer, letting Ye take the lead in words while she makes statements through fashion. She could expand her own ventures, revive her jewelry brand, or lean harder into architecture as a public career. Or she could surprise everyone by stepping forward with her own voice, telling her own story in her own words. Whatever direction she takes, it's almost certain she will keep the public fascinated. And that's what makes her story so compelling, the contradictions. She's highly educated and rooted in architecture, but known globally for fashion statements. She avoids the press, yet trends constantly. She grew up in Melbourne, but now lives under the heaviest spotlight in Los Angeles. To some, she is simply Kanye's wife. To others, she is a creative partner and muse. To many, she's still a mystery. From architecture classrooms in Melbourne to Yeezy design studios, from a private Beverly Hills wedding to the Grammys' red carpet, Bianca Censori has transformed into one of the most talked-about women in the world. Her presence raises questions about fame, identity, and power in the age of celebrity. And it invites us to wonder, what role will she play in Ye's story, and what story will she write for herself? So what do you think of Bianca Censori? Do you see her as a muse, a mastermind, or simply someone caught in the whirlwind of Ye's larger-than-life world? Should she step forward and tell her own story, or does the mystery make her even more intriguing? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear how you see her. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into her life, make sure to hit the like button, share this video with a friend, and subscribe so you don't miss the next story.